Okay. Hello, hello. Welcome to today's special webcast. This is not a launch webcast. This is not a testing webcast. This is a re-entry webcast. Crazy, right? This is the first time we've done one of these. Today we'll be re-entering. Today we'll be re-entering SM-10, the ship from Starlight Flight 6, in the arms. That mission was amazing success, as you see in the announcement post, or in the stream, the mainstream. Unfortunately, we don't have more commentators tonight. None are available, so I'm just a lone commentator. So I'll introduce myself. I am Nick Face747, the COO and Flight Director. COO, not CEO, just for clarification. Chief Operating Officer and Flight Director at Astrospace. Providing your main and only commentator today, I'm sorry, CBR CTO and Launch Director wasn't available. Swift also wasn't available. So just me and Arrow if you want to commentate, depending on the situation. But regardless of that, this entry is going to be awesome. So if you didn't know, Flight 6 was placed into a quite unique orbit. So once SM-10 did the TBI to carry Zephyr to Venus, just a quick recap if you don't. Just a quick recap on Flight 6, just so you don't know if you are not joining us. So Flight 6 had an amazing flight, listed off successfully 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Had a beautiful ascent, stage separation, hot staging, catch. We did have a shine fall off during the flight. Why did the shine fall off again? Just for our viewers. A COPV had an overpressure event, which means basically it got too much pressure and caused the COPV to blow up. Not blow up, or like burst the shine. And B10 will be forever left with this broken shine as memory, and the shine below it got damaged. The shine held the pressure, yeah, and then it gave out and blew up. We didn't notice that until post-flight. We didn't notice that shine blurred off as we were too excited. Yeah, so we had a booster catch, if you know, on the stream. I absolutely shouted, possibly one of the greatest announcer calls with that catch call. Go rewatch that if you want to. After the stream, of course. But the ship went into orbit. It was carrying Zephyr and PLD Space's lander to Venus, which it did successfully. It did a TBI, and those payloads are now on their way to Venus. Correct me if I'm wrong, they're landing in 2 days from now. Yeah, it's 2 days from now, right? 27. Tomorrow. Oh, yeah, that makes sense because we said 2 days yesterday, but we couldn't do it yesterday. So that is on its way. I don't think we'll live stream it. We'll just show pictures because too fast to get a live stream up. So after that, I'm going kind of slow because there's no one else on commentary and we got time, so bear with me. So it was deployed into a TV orbit. So then the ship turned around, partially. Well, it deployed into a high Earth orbit. That burn was completed successfully on the day of the 19th, and it just sat in orbit because we kept delaying the reentry. It tested header tanks, which was a nice feature. It's been in orbit for almost 2 weeks, 3 weeks now. And now it's in a high, very elliptical Earth orbit. So the apogee is like very high and the perigee is in the atmosphere. So it's going to be coming in very, very fast. So this is a crude test for Mars because for Martian speed, it'll coming in like at this kind of velocity or inclination. And because of that, we'll have a 2 to 3 minute loss of signal due to thick plasma. I know in our previous reentries we didn't have this problem, but because the because the ship is traveling so fast, Aspen and Starlink sometimes won't be able to connect. We will get ground views though, because we will get ground. We won't have loss of signal, but we'll have ground tracking cameras, because sorry, what I'm saying, ground tracking cameras can like see through plasma. We have infrared cameras on the ground that can see through plasma, but communications, satellite and ground communications won't be able to communicate. But we don't have infrared. We don't have infrared communication in the spacecraft yet, but we do have infrared cameras. Infrared means they can like see through plasma, or special cameras that can see through plasma, or you can just get visuals. So yeah, you can get cameras, but not radio signals, because cameras are way different. Because the mechanics of getting camera views on a vehicle was way different from getting physical radio signals. So yeah, that's why we have a loss of signal, but we can still see on the ground, because all you need to see on the ground is just a camera. Versus a radio, you have to have a radio signal, which is impacted by plasma. I don't know how, but it is. So there's my long explanation. So the ship will be landing on. Let me just do a quick double check. LZ4, which is the landing pad. Why don't we show it for a second while the ship is coasting? There we go. This. There we go. Let's get the camera in focus. Get the camera in focus for a second. Just wait a second. We're getting the camera in focus. Stand by, guys. We're getting the camera in focus. And we're trying to get a camera of landing zone 4, so that, and like the area, so people can see where it's going to be landing. Oh, there you go. There's the landing pad. Landing zone 3 is where booster 8 and booster 9 landed when we did land landings prior to catching. At LZ4 is where ships land, and LZ3 will be used as an alternative ship landing point. LZ4 is the main one. LZ3 is the kind of backup landing pad in case one ship comes from Mars or something. Like, if one thing is doing it, like the Leo mission, low Earth orbit, and one ship's coming from Mars, for example, you could have a backup pad. Oh, crap. Wait, can you quickly change the stream description for a second? Okay, sorry about that. So, we are having a change of plans of the pads. We are landing on LZ3, which is the one where boosters landed, because they were coded that way. It's really no difference. Either, again, anything I said about that explanation about backup, that's completely valid, because it really doesn't matter which pad it lands on. The other one could be a backup. But this pad has seen more action. The other one's just a backup pad. It's seen the 2 booster landings, so it's quite a historic pad. We're getting more history on it today. The orbit is 2,005 kilometers by 65 kilometers on its return trajectory, by the way, just for anyone watching. Yeah, sorry about that, for clarification about the landing zones. It's really like, so it really doesn't matter which one it lands anyways. I mean, they're identical. During this, we have Flight 12 on the pad. We're gonna launch that sometime in February. I'm not gonna give a date because Ruko and that whole thing, but it is mostly done. Well, maybe there's a code to be done, but the vehicle's done. Like there's probably an adapter to do. There's visual adapter here, and there's code to be done. But it looks awesome. The tower is great. The new revamp strongback clamps. The revamp boosters look awesome. TSL Mini. The modified design looks so much better. Way more realistic. It looks like a real rocket nowadays. It looks like a real rocket, not something like unrealistic. And the caps will look awesome too. So just a side note about that. I'll be launching sometime soon. Give me a date when we have one. No guarantees. Okay, when does it start peak heating? Because we're at 17 minutes now. According to the confirmation for our viewers, when we're expecting reentry so we can gauge of what we can talk about right now. A few minutes before landing, which like okay, we'll see. So we'll talk about future programs. So anybody hasn't known in Discord, we have a new launch site called New Starlight launch site, temporary name, in South Carolina, designed for Starlight V3 and Eagle. This is amazing. We broke ground on it a couple months ago. We've got to be there. We've got a pad. We've got a ship there, and that is awesome to see. We currently also have our current V3 pad here at Key West, right next to the catch tower, which is currently under construction. And we have B10. This catching thing, which should be scrapped but isn't, because we already catch. We got the V3 tower, and of course, place for a tank farm there. And of course, we'll give you a tour while we wait. We've got the Mets there in the Met yard. We've got an Eagle 2 production facility, which this vehicle's heavily rusted and not going to fly again. We've got that vehicle. We've got the port with the vehicle, and we've got the. I don't know if this Dragonfly is supposed to be. This Dragonfly is supposed to be a test or a flight vehicle, but it's there. And we've got tower sections, obviously, the refurb building, the garden. You've got SN14, Pathfinder. I wonder why it looks like that. You've got SN14 sitting out there, Cruise Starlight. You've got SN21. By the way, the reason I'm doing this is because there's nothing to talk about, so I'm just going to give you a tour of what I see. Because there's no other commentators, so I can do whatever I want. SN21, which is our V3 Starlight. We've got Booster 1, an Astro Legend. This thing's a legend. How is this thing still alive? Who knows? It's been alive for almost 2 years now. Basically, the Star Hopper of Starlight. If you know Star Hopper, which if you're a Starship fan, you should know. If you're a Starship fan, if you're a space fan, you probably know Starship, which is kind of where Starlight is inspired off, because the vehicle is kind of the same, but not directly copied. We do have different things, but the idea is the same. And we've got the Flight 3 stack. Again, highly successful flight. Go rewatch that video. After our first scrub mission, that was actually a disaster to me. And then right next to that, you've got the OG Starlight stack, which is Booster 4 and SN3. And I was sitting there, and there you've got sections. You've got a V3 nose. You've got more V3 noses. You've got V3 sections. You've got the old tank of Booster 20.3, which is waiting to be scrapped. you've got the test V3 hot staging ring, and inside the bay you've got SN20, the first V3 ship. You've got some boosters in there, B11 booster 12 and B12. Inside here, you've got SN12, which is going to Mars soon. Inside here, you've got SN11, which is going to the moon soon. You've got SN13, which is waiting on to be converted like SN12. And that's the production facility. And you've got Astro Factory. I'm not going to tell you what's inside because there's secrets in there. And a tour of Key West. I can't believe I forget a tour of Key West on stream, but I'm not bored. You got the Flyers Memorial. We're showing the interviews. I'm just saying everything. It's not physical. It's not a fit. Oh wait, you're doing a tour, are you? Or are you still doing interviews? I'm just explaining. And over here you've got the Garden of Legends, which is the 4 Starlight stacks. There's 6 Starlight stacks, 4 in the Garden of Legends, 2 in the Rocket Garden. You've got the Flight 6 and Flight 5 stacks. No, wait, what? Flight 5 and Flight 4, I forgot the SN20. Well, no, what I'm saying, SN10 still needs to return. So Flight 4 and Flight 5 stacks. You've got the Flight 2 stack, Flight 1, Demo Eagle 2, the airport, the Eagle 2 launch site, Eagle launch site, and back to Starlight. So that's a quick rundown. With audio, obviously, not a tour about the entire Astro facility. What we've done, while we do that, we'll explain you a bit about SN10. SN10 is a revamped ship, the first revamped V2 Starlight, V2.1, because the old model looked horrible, to be honest. Booster 10 and SN10 are majorly remodeled. New quick disconnects, new chine design, the hot chain remains the same. New logos, new details, new vents. We've got a brand new payload door, which makes way more realistic than the. I mean, not the SN9 payload doors were bad, but this is way more realistic. Plus, animated. There's no. Yeah, people think there's no landing legs. How are you gonna land? Well, the landing legs are hidden. Well, the landing legs are not deployed. They're hidden inside in the stacking clamps. But it's genius how we made it. They're basically on top of the stacking clamps, where when the vehicle is stacked, they're high enough that the vehicle can physically stack. But they're also low enough that they can fully deploy on landing. So kind of an innovative design there. People think there's no landing legs. There are. If you can see them, if we show in the brief. If you can see, you can't. I think you can probably see the leg through the camera. Yeah, behind that T-back. Which let me explain the engine for a second. So we've got TSLs. I can't remember what TSL and T-back means, so I'm gonna call them that. So TSLs, which are sea level engine, we've got 4 of those, and then T-back, which is our vacuum engine, we've got 6 of those. Behind the one on the camera's kind of diagonal-ish to you. You can see a metal thing, and that is the leg support. And there's 4 legs, right? Or are there more? 6. Oh, I thought there were 4 legs. Yeah, wait, I don't even know how many legs there are. And there's another one if you can see closely. There's another one if you can see closely. If you look at the TVAC engine that is just beside the camera, you can see another one of those legs. So that's that. We're 8 minutes away. We expect to see some reentry soon. So let's cut back to some views of the ships outside. The ship has lots of upgrades, and we'll see how it does in reentry. Can we get some outside cameras, like flap cam of the ship? Okay, there we go. Here we go. That phrase always gets me. That phrase is always cool. The camera view is actually pretty nice. I want to see what the app webcam. Oh, just look. You could actually see the bottom of the ship from the app webcam. It's kind of neat. You can in the cargo bay. You can see the empty Zephyr in the payload bay. But we're showing flap camera. We're waiting on reentry, guys. We're waiting on reentry. Kind of interesting stream. If you stick around, we're talking about things. I'm certainly not human, but yeah, you can see that door. Reentry will be a bit earlier than expected. I thought it would be later than expected, but earlier is better to be early than late, as they say. I love a saying though. We're coming in. Um, 6, 7 minutes. Wait, is that reentry? I think it is. Yeah, that's reentry. I think it is. Solar panels is glitching. The ship is moving around. That's reentry, definitely. It's moving. Yeah, it's moving. Did you animate the flaps? I think you did. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Okay, we're waiting on that reentry. We see movement, but we're waiting on that full reentry. It'll be hot. Expect loss of signal. Wait, what do we do on loss of signal? Do we cut to the ground cameras to show you it's loss of signal? We're we're gonna we're coming down. Here the ship comes. Here we go. 2 weeks of mission, one fuel transfer, lots of gold. All comes down to this. The ship begins its historic quest from a high-speed reentry to landing pad. We are going to watch this unfold together. Here we go. Down she goes. Altitude is dropping fast. Vehicles getting ready for reentry. We expect to see the cameras tilted because the flaps moved. Speed is altitude is rapidly going down. Vehicles preparing for reentry. We pass under 5 minutes on the T-minus clock. The T-minus clock might necessarily not be the most accurate clock in the world, but it's an estimate of when they'll reenter. But we're watching the altitude, and the altitude is continually going down fast. Here, going fast in the counter, so it looks like the T-minus clock is holding accurate. We've got a good view as the flap is turned a bit. As that camera is rapidly, the vehicle is rapidly descending. Was descending much faster than the T-minus clock, which is good for our timing. The initial. Oh yeah, there we go. That now you can see the flaps in action. The camera's moving around. And here we go down all the way to the ground. Almost 4 minutes, and we've shed off a ton of altitude. We've shed off a ton of altitude. We're now really close toward our reentry today. Man, it's so nice to get this finally over with. We expect the vehicle to survive. There's a chance of failure, obviously, with anything we do. There we go. Here's the camera flaps moving. Here we go. Plasma. Extreme heat. There we go. Here's the plasma of the vehicle. It's increasing. And there is the plasma. Oh my god, that's going to be heavy. Lost the signal? We've lost ground cam. You can see the vehicle through the ground cameras. These beautiful cameras are capturing the extreme amount of plasma of the vehicle. Oh my god, this is awesome. Oh my god. This is awesome. Look at that. From high speed, it's coming down. You can see the ground camera. We have lost the signal, but for anyone just joining us, why we can see the vehicle, but we don't have onboard views. We are in the loss of signal due to plasma, but we have tracking the vehicle because we can physically see the vehicle, like through our tracking cameras, but the radio communications don't get through. We can physically see the plasma, but the radio can't get through the plasma. Acquisition of signal, and there we go. That brief loss of signal is gone. We've got signal from Key West tracking station. We expect that reentry to plasma to subside soon and prepare for descent and landing. My god, what a plasma. This vehicle is doing amazing. Pushing through the plasma like a champ. Vehicle is pushing through the plasma like it's nothing. No issues on the V3 tiles. By the way, I forgot to mention we're carrying V3 tiles for testing. They are looking awesome. Starlight V3. The heat started to subside. The V3 tiles did awesome. The heat shield did awesome. And there goes the plasma. The heat shield did amazing. From high Earth orbit, the vehicle survived perfectly. It was awesome. No issues. The T-minus clock is wrong, by the way. The T-minus clock is literally so inaccurate, but don't worry about that, guys. Ship is now in belly flop. But I don't see the belly flop. Isn't it belly flopping? Flaps are extending. There we go. You can see the camera moving. It's in belly flop. It's just the camera angle. The T-minus clock is wrong, but do not worry. So for just joining us, the vehicle survived amazing. The new V3 pilots for our upcoming version performed awesome. The rest of the vehicle performed awesome. It took that reentry like an absolute champ. The vehicle just breathed through like the plasma like it wasn't even there. It just absolutely handled it perfectly. No tile issues as we can see. Well, as we can see, caveat, we don't know yet. We don't have the vehicle land. We think the vehicle is okay based on our data, but we'll see once we land how that vehicle held up. But for now, let's watch it come down. But for now, we're looking for. But for now, we have got drown catching vehicle. Oh my god, landing bird! The flip is kind of weird. Oh my god. What is it doing? It's gonna land on the edge of the landing pad, that's fine. And touchdown! While it wasn't the most accurate landing, it was the landing nonetheless. We gotta adjust that for future flights, but oh well. Ship is in safing mode. Not the most accurate landing. The code must have, but we'll adjust that in future flights. That will wrap up the stream. Wait, let me do my intro. See you for flight 12, but let me do my outro. Since we really have nothing to talk. Wait a second. Can we confirm the tiles are okay before we end our viewership? Just to let our viewers know. Let's just confirm the V3 tiles and the tiling are okay. Is that a broken tile? No. No. No, those are antennas. No, those are the solar panels. We lost a tile where? Yeah, there. Not really that critical. Again, I'll leave that for future flights. So let me do my intro. This is Nick Pitt. We had an amazing reentry. The ship descended perfectly through the stream. V2 tiles were fine. We did have one tile fall off, but the ablative handled perfectly. Not the new ablative, the old ablative. SN12 and beyond have a new ablative, which will make it even more safe for reentry. But besides that one tile, the ship was awesome. Ship did awesomely for temperatures. Landing legs did awesome. Vehicle landed. The engines did perfectly. It did land off center, but for a first landing, you can't complain. We'll do this. It was kind of an awkward flip. I thought I was going to land on the wrong landing pad, but oh well. It's a good first landing. We'll soon do a first post-flight wet dress rehearsal, maybe Sunday. Sunday, I think. Wait, no. Sunday's the Super Bowl. I can't do Saturday, maybe. So besides that, the landing was good, and we will now sign off. This is Arrow sign off. We'll see you. Okay, this is Nick, Base 747, your CEO and Flight Director of After Space, providing your main coverage. Oh, it's short. Pretty short for a normal first stream because this is a reentry, not a landing. Thank you for watching this awesome stream. The vehicle achieving an awesome milestone, along with explanations along the way during the dead periods. You got a lot on the stream. We had an awesome mission. It was awesome stream, despite the shorter than usual stream tonight. Everything was successful. See you on Flight 12. Good night. Good night from the After team. Historic achievement. Good night. See you for Flight 12.